Good Tuesday afternoon, Facebook and YouTube. How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Hope you are having a great start to your week. This is a special segment that we're doing, coming to you live right here on Kendrick Sports Hustle, as well as on my YouTube channel, as well as on Facebook. And you can check me out there. Make sure you subscribe to my channel on YouTube. That is Kendrick Sports Hustle, as well as TFG Sports Media on YouTube. Like and follow them both on Facebook as well. Follow me on Instagram at Kendrick1969 and on TikTok at Kendrick Henderson51. So again, I hope you all are having a great Tuesday and a great start to your week. And I got a special guest. I got a special show for you today. We're talking about sports journalism, and we're talking about how this game done changed due to social media. And everybody think this is easy. Everybody think they can do it. Everybody think because they got a phone and they can talk, it's easy, but it really isn't easy as it seems. And I got a special guest. This good brother I met some years back, way back. I'm a little bit older than he is, but we share the same first name. How ironic is that? Without further ado, I'm gonna bring in my good brother Kendrick Johnson. Kendrick, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me on, man. It was 2001.
It was 2001. I knew it was some years ago. I just couldn't remember the year.
Because I was a junior. I graduated in college in 2003, so 2002.
Wow. So we're talking 24 years ago, pretty much. Yeah. Wow. It's been a while, my man. God dang, I'm getting up there.
You know, Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
At the 24 Fitness to Talk to Magic.
Yes, when he did his grand opening, I think they were just starting to open them up in the Metroplex. Yeah. And Michael Coleman, who is the sports director at KOTV, we drove up to do a sit down with Magic Johnson, and I remember meeting Kendrick. I think you were by yourself. I think at that, were you one man band? What were you doing?
I decided to use that opportunity to talk to Magic. That was the first celebrity I ever talked to. Didn't know. I was in college just trying to hustle, and it took off. Literally took off. You know when it took off? That's the first high-profile person I ever talked to one-on-one.
And we're going to talk about a little bit more about that, because going from there then to now, man, I can tell you, you know, I'm proud of you, brother, for what you're doing, and you got your hustle on. So we're going to start from the beginning, Kendrick. Where you from?
From Dallas, Texas. Grew up in Dallas and then moved out to the Garland Rowlett area. Played basketball at Garland Lakeview Centennial. I think I'm up on the leader of rebounds, averaged a double-double 2 years in a row. Got me a full ride to play at University of North Texas. Hooped there for a couple years, and then I finished my degree up at UTA and went straight to KTRE out there in Lufkin when you were out there in Tyler.
That's right. So you were at KTRE. What year were you at KTRE?
04 to 06. It's crazy because they're trying to have a reunion put together. And I just got reminded about that recently, 04 to 06. So Sean Clinch and Donovan Campbell.
Right. Donovan, because Sean is out of the business now in Austin, but he does his content creator thing on YouTube and on TikTok as well as on Facebook. And Donovan, the last I knew, he was in Miami. I don't know if he still is or not.
I don't know either. I've seen him about 4 or 5 years, but last time I saw him was the NBA All-Star weekend. I think it was the one in Charlotte.
Okay. So when you were at KTRE, were you doing sports there?
The funny thing is, not right away. They had me shooting. That's why I was calling you, because I basically told a lie so I could shoot better than I could. In the first couple of weeks, they like, this fool can't shoot. I remember, and I talked to her probably about 3-4 months ago. I called up and kind of gave her an update what I'm doing. Tina Alexander Sellers.
You know, she's been gone from there, but you still have, okay.
Yeah, she does all the hospital stuff now.
Right. What's going on, Juan? How you doing? Good Tuesday to you.
Okay. I said that with Tina, and she goes, yeah, I'm gonna be straight with you. I don't think your shoe's as good as you said you are. I'm gonna give you 2 weeks. I'm gonna send you back to Dallas. Man, I'm either shooting the camera at the station, or I'm white balancing up in my apartment.
Right.
I didn't put that camera down unless I was going to the restroom.
Right. I remember you actually. Yeah, I remember that, because I knew sports was something that you wanted to do, and we will talk about that later on. So what got you interested in wanting to do sports? When did you get the sports bug? When you say, you know what, this is what I want to do for a career?
I started that in college when I started hooping, because at that time, people don't realize, like now, when you play basketball overseas, some of it's because of the Trump factor, people don't want to mess with Americans. They don't want your hair out of place.
Mm-hmm.
And you die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm to take that risk. I got some buddies that went over there because to make the real money, you had to go to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Care about that, but living over there 9 months, you don't get like now. This people get NBA type security. Some of those people over there get more security than NBA players over here. Overseas now. I wouldn't like that. I'm like, I'm not gonna go overseas. So realistic, I could have went overseas and hoop. I'm like, yeah, as much as I like hooping, I want to go over there. So I start focusing on probably my junior year of college. I start focusing on doing all this stuff. And Tina had me do shooting, so I made a deal with her. I had to do news for 3 months. I couldn't even touch sports.
Mm-hmm.
And she made me do stuff on Crime Stoppers and all that.
Right.
And really, I know that was helping me with my producing, my shooting, and my editing and skills I use to this day.
Right. So sports wasn't really something you were really looking to get into. Is that correct to say?
I was going to just hoop overseas until I I changed my mind. Like, nah.
Okay.
Overseas, and then I kind of or they say pivoted and stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So basically, you're saying that you didn't really grow up with aspirations of being a sportscaster or anything like that.
I wanted to be more of a writer, but then as I got older, I could say like, oh, I'm better. I could do this media game, and then I went from KTRE, got a little bit of airtime, so I got a full anchor job. I was a weekend sports anchor at KTVE out in West Monroe, Louisiana. I was out there for a whole year. Every weekend was like my sports center.
Right. So how was that experience? Because you didn't really get the opportunity at KTRE to actually sports.
It was cool because I worked. First of all, I worked to get the opportunity because even though I was at KTRE, I was just doing more news and sports, not to my liking. But like I tell my kid now, you got to do something about it. So I busted my tail and got my resume taped, got my interview, and moved up to Louisiana. And basically, they're like, hey, you don't gonna get no time off, but guess what? You the anchor show every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. So that was like my sports center. I'm sitting there, I'm off on Wednesday. I'm focused. I go to the station at 2:00 in the morning, give my little rundown there. Every little thing, every detail is thought of.
So you have, I mean, I think you're talking about a lot about what people don't have. You got passion. You had a passion for doing sports. That's what you really wanted to do. Correct.
Yeah, I was making $26,000. You couldn't tell me about the money. I was like, I'm on this thing. I get 4 shows a week. Oh, I'm good. And the crazy thing is, right before I got there, they had like one of the worst sets. They had a set worse than my college set. They got they entered a contest. Who had the worst set got a set makeover. Right. We go up in there. They win the makeover. I come in like a month after it. So even though I'm in like market like 135, our set was like a Dallas set. Like we had plasma screens and stuff. This is like 2005. Like everybody got it now. Not 2006 to 2005 area. So I'm like, I'm gonna make this my own show, and I owned it. So that was like my thing.
So that you guys were ahead of the game somewhat, far as the technology, far as that aspect on it. But far as when did you feel like that you really got comfortable in your sports anchoring, sports reporting skills? When did that kind of you finally get to like, you know what? I'm really comfortable in my skin and doing this thing. When did that come?
Probably midway, probably about 3 months into doing that, because out there they call it the heart of the Archimedes because it's the Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi border, and we're coming to things like West Monroe, Wassman, Carroll, Ouachita, and all those parish schools. And coming from Texas, it's a big deal to them. But I'm like, I know what the big stuff is. But looking back on it, it was good that I got something that was serious, but not Texas speed, because that's a whole nother speed.
Right. That's a whole nother speed. And I tell people that all the time. You don't know high school sports, especially football, until you've been to Texas.
I got sampled doing a Nat Sound piece. Funny, I saw him last night at the David Brown Award talking to Fernando Mendoza, this guy named Noah Bullock. Shout out to Noah.
Noah works at 5, right?
Yeah,
He did
a little thing. I interned at WFA Channel 8. And I interned at WB 33. He was the chief photographer. He had a little bit they would do called Noah's Art, where he put together a great sound piece and could tell a story without no words. It's just pictures and sounds. I didn't know nothing about that. And then I stuck with me in my internship. And I started doing it and playing around with it in college. And then when I was at KTRE, trying to find a way to get on, like, I'm going to get my name out here some way. So I'm like, Kendrick's art. So I would go to the game of the week doing that sound piece. And at the end of the thing, I put my own zing, and it took them a couple weeks to get used to it. I had the cheerleaders, you're watching Kendrick's art on KTRE.
Yeah.
And I remember Sean, my man Sean looked at like, I get shout out to Kendrick, and then people start calling and emailing, like, who's this guy?
Right.
So not to be funny, they kind of have to put me on air. And I
And so that's basically how you got on air at KTRE then. Okay, man, that's dope. I never knew that story. Well, that's
So like, who's this Kendrick's art? And I saw them from Noah, and we still talked about that last night. We had a catch-up session about that. But
that's awesome, man. That's just showing your go get it and your creativity. That goes a long way in the business. Now let's fast forward, man. You said you was in Louisiana for a year.
Yeah.
Then where did you end up?
Your boy got married and took a couple years off sabbatical, and they this is interfering with what I gotta do. Have to make some life adjustments, and I readjust. And I took about a good 3 or 4 years, and then I started back freelancing, and I started what I do now back about 2013.
Okay.
The year that Johnny Football took off.
Okay.
I sat there and went to a game or two or whatever, just writing for a little sports site that's not doing exist no more in Dallas. Mm-hmm. And then I got to go to the Cotton Bowl. That game that Johnny Football threw for 300 and ran for 200 and then did cocaine, as he said in his documentary, for the first time in his life. I was at that party and saw him walking into that room to do that cocaine. No lie.
Wow. Kendrick, you got some stories, man.
So I was at that party, but that's the day that Johnny Football became that guy. I was at that game against Oklahoma in that Cotton Bowl. But for me personally, I started finding my stride, and my good friend Mariah helped me out, and I started doing that. And then I wanted to get into boxing, and Canelo's fighting in San Antonio, and somebody's like, "Man, we can get you in there. We can't pay you, but if you do a good job, we'll start paying you." So I drove San Antonio for free and saw Canelo's first title defense. Then you could tell that he had something about him. I didn't know he was going to be this big, but I'm not surprised because I saw him fight. Man, I forgot the guy's name. He's from Austin Trout.
Okay.
Austin Trout.
So this was in what year was this? You said
2013.
So 2013 is basically when you took the freelance route. Yeah. When you say, you know what, I'm not going to try to be with a network or a local team. Did you not want to go back into local television sports?
I didn't want to deal with all the people, the politics and stuff beyond your control. You getting shifted, or you got to move certain markets just to make an ends meet and all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's out of your control and a lot of politics and stuff like that. So I just kind of like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have to come in this way and kind of bet on myself.
What was what has been the sacrifice in being a freelancer? Because for those that don't know, when we say freelance, basically you're not on anybody's payroll.
I 1 month I make $500 for the whole month. They make nothing. The next month I make $8,500. So
that's what I'm saying. Talk about was that scary to
that's scary because like there's no you kind of start looking like you like whoa, you like walking a tightrope. But then you got to bet on yourself that you're gonna be able to get that your work is gonna stand out. And that's where we at today. The whole social media stuff is, and like I've been elected to join the bus, but you got to play the analytics game. Some people, just because they get numbers, people think that they're better than what they are. Therefore, they make more money, even though their stuff is trash. But they get the analytics, aka the likes, aka they get the views and whatever. And so that's why you people have these gimmicky catching things, because they look at it like, I would have somebody say I'm a sorry journalist and make money than be a good journalist and be broke.
What has been the positives about basically being your own boss? Being a freelancer, what's the positives for you?
You can pick your own schedule. I'm not just a high school guy. I'm not just an NBA guy. I'm not just a UFC and boxing guy. You can have a lot of versatility. And what's helped me out for sure is a lot of people, regardless if they're high school or future Hall of Fame NBA player, I treat everybody like they're a pro, but I talk to these people. People talk, even like now, I'm doing stuff with Sports Illustrated. And I do a lot of one-on-ones with these high school kids and do video interviews, kind of like we're doing now. And I sit there and record them and stuff. And then Sports Illustrated people want me to do more because a lot of these people, they write about these kids. They don't talk to them. I talk to them. They talk about them.
Wow, that's a very good point because I think a lot of people miss that. You're actually developing relationships with a lot of the athletes that you cover, rather than someone from afar just writing about them and not really even having access to them. Speaking of access, how have you been able to get a lot of the access that you get with? And we're gonna talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman here, Kendrick, has been in the presence of a lot of athletes. How have you been able to get yourself in the door when it comes to that type of access?
A lot of us are hustling. Then you got to know how the system play. Then you got to know the politics, and then you got to deal with gatekeepers. That's one thing. It's always going to be some gatekeeper, be somebody's a family member, be a PR person, and that's why people think that they try to obsolete them, but you have to get the access to get that main stuff. So you got to kind of play the game and stuff like that. But like, kind of like being willing to travel too. Like one year I flew like 35,000 miles and I was gone like 30 weeks out the year. But I made 6 figures that year. It's probably one of the most profitable years I had in my life because I was always gone. But every time I was gone,
yeah. So, and that's all your expenses. You're having to pay. Are you having to pay for your own?
The thing people do now is they want you to pay up front and then they reimburse you in the back end, which is crazy. Right. It's like you kind of can't go against the machine.
Yeah. So who all do you freelance for right now, Kendrick?
Right now I got Saturday Down South, which is the biggest SEC affiliate website. I cover a lot of stuff for Texas and A&M for them, and then High School SI with Sports Illustrated, and then MMA Weekly. It's the third biggest MMA and boxing website in the world. And then I'm working on a deal right now with Essentially Sports.
Wow. So that's basically what 4 different avenues or companies that you freelance for. Plus, you probably do you get hired to do other things as well? Do people reach out to you to actually help them cover something that they may not be able to get to?
Yeah, the thing is though, like with where I'm at my career, I kind of decline those because you come in, you get like a nice big check for $2,000 for like 3 days worth of work, but where you gonna be at next month? So that does me no good because like something go bad, they see Kendrick, they don't see such and such. So that's my relationship with said brand or said athlete.
Right. So basically, you've been doing this freelance thing for 13 years now. Would you say? Any regrets?
No, it's been good. It's been good. It's helped me do a lot of stuff. The travel, the only thing that's right now is because there's the crazy thing is living in Dallas. There's more opportunities for me personally. I can't speak to everybody else on the West Coast. I have a lot of opportunities in LA and Vegas. It would be advantageous to move to Vegas for a couple of years and make a lot of money, but it wouldn't be good for family wise. I got a kid come through, get ready to come through this football race, which is kind of crazy because people are already sizing him up and everything because he got all the measurables.
Right. Got you. So this is Kendrick Johnson, my good brother, freelance sports journalist. He's covering everything. He's been doing this thing for a minute. What would be your advice to someone, because everybody wants to do sports, let's be honest with you. With the advent of social media, everybody now can get in front of a laptop or their phone with a mic and they can talk about sports, or at least they think they can talk about sports. What would your advice be to up and coming wannabe sports journalists now? What would be some of the advice you would give them?
You got to do everything because a lot of people, they can talk and be on camera, but they can't write or they can't edit. They can do videos, but they don't know how to do the back end and all that stuff to get the traffic. So you gotta be a jack of all trades. But a main thing is you gotta know different sports. You can specialize in one, but unless you got like a caboose, aka a investor or something to push you, you're gonna have to bet on yourself because the part of getting your name out there and stuff is being everywhere.
So would you advise So would you advise them to try the freelance thing first, or just go straight like the normal route is go to
I,
college, try to get your first job in the market where you can get some experience? Would you still tell a
yeah, I
wannabe
also saw
sports
somebody
journalist?
try to do that, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of people they have like they making like good money like 80, $90,000 doing YouTube. So what if YouTube go away? Because
Mhm.
like people still gonna have need sports, and so they're gonna either get it in a certain kind of way, either writing or whatever. So what if an app or YouTube or TikTok go away? How would you make your money? You gotta be able to write, or you gotta
Mhm.
be able to be able to do a whole show, not just
Yeah.
okay. I'm an NBA guy. I go to all the NBA games and I make
Right.
videos. Okay, you make videos, but do you know how to talk to the players? Do they
Mhm.
talk to you?
Right. Right.
Can you
Yeah.
tell a story?
It's about, again, it's about developing relationships. Can you get contacts that where you can get a story before anybody else? Again, that's the developing the relationship part about journalism that I think that most people in the content creator world now, i.e. YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, a lot of them, if they don't have a journalistic background, they don't understand the dynamics of how do you tell a story.
Right.
What can you say or not say? You know what I'm saying? Or how do you edit? Can you use video or voiceover over some other? Yeah, so a lot of these, again, that's social media here. That's neither here nor there. Let me ask you this: what's your opinion of sports content creators on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, etc.? Your thoughts?
To me, it's more of a game than it is a craft
Mm,
because people try to find their own niche and then another thing too, it's more about tricking the algorithm than your actual product. Like without being like too graphic, you can do a video on 3 ways to take a dump. If it gets 100,000 views, that's all people care about. A lot of people are like, oh, we can't do people too much. It's all about the analytics. That's all
yeah.
everything want to pay on all that stuff. You can talk about taking trash. 3 ways to
Mhm.
take trash out. Man, got 150,000 views. That's a good job. That's
Yeah.
all people care about.
Yeah, it's about how you title your content,
Yeah.
using keywords for the algorithm. And I see it all the time. It's a certain sports content
I don't
creator.
believe in the keyword thing. I been on something to catch people to look because
Yeah,
it's always changing.
yeah, but
So you can't keep up with it. But if you
yeah,
get something crazy like Wimby grabs his junk while he dunk on somebody. Oh, da da da.
that's what
Well,
I'm
it
talking
changed.
about. See, and here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's a certain sports content creator that I find, but I know I don't even watch their stuff as much anymore because every title they use the word shocking or disappointed. You know what I'm saying? They use adjectives that people going to be like, "Oh wow, controversial." Every title they have, they use those certain adjectives, and I already know this video probably ain't what you're talking about
Yeah.
in your title. So again, that's just the social media world. I get it. It's about, like you saying, manipulating the algorithm. Now let's move on to, man. You have met and spoken and interviewed with some some great athletes over your 13 years career, and there's one in particular that I know you really had a pretty, I don't know how close y'all were, but the late Kobe Bryant. Talk about your relationship with Kobe.
Kobe, it's like I'll say this, like so a couple of things with Kobe. One is I started off just a straight fan, like everybody else. I saw him while I interned, and this is the year they had just won their first title or were on the way to winning the first title. So he's
Mhm,
21, no older than 22. I'm
mhm.
just happy to be in his presence. And then I like came up to him like a fan. That's why I read up to him. Man, I watch all the da, I hoop da da da. Now I talk about I've been talking about since you came out. You're gonna be that guy. He said, thanks for rocking with me. That's all he said. Then I see him the next time they come up to. We talk a little bit more. We went from that, from me being a little intern at UTA, working at Channel 8, to I made a point just on my own to get a media pass and drive down from Lufkin and cover the game
Right.
just because I wanted to see them. And I saw them both times they came through. And then we kind of boom, boom, boom. Go to Lufkin, start seeing them New Orleans. And at that time, remember when they displaced Oklahoma City?
Yes.
They were
Right.
like walkthroughs and stuff. It's kind of because he just retired too, Chris Paul. It was his
Yeah.
first year. And
Mhm.
so they would have walkthroughs too. So I saw him in Louisiana. So he started, oh, what's up, brother? It's like you on the move up. So the more I moved up, the more he respected the grind. But when we got really, really cool was 2012. He goes over 30,000 points. Shout out to my friend and mentor, Brian Salmon. I met him my first job in Lufkin. He was in Beaumont. He's in Anchorage in New Orleans at the time. And it's kind of crazy because they died almost like 3 weeks apart. David Stern was down there for Kobe because 30,000 points. People, even now, I think Durant is the latest, and he's like ninth.
He's the last one to go over 30,000. I think he's like ninth.
If you count with two hands, how many people did? I think somebody's coming.
I know Durant was the last one to go over 30,000. I don't know who's next after that.
Yeah, but it's a real deal. Kobe's like the 5th or 6th. It was a huge deal.
Right.
4,000 hits in baseball.
Right.
So David Stern was in there and stuff. And I came down there, and he knew I wasn't in the New Orleans market, but he knew I came just to see him. And then my boy, it was funny because he like, man, watch. He said, Kobe ain't gonna know. My boy's talking noise to me being funny though.
Right.
We sitting there talking, and we didn't see him. I get a tap on the shoulder. It's Kobe. He's like, "What's up, boy?" He dapped me up. My homie was like, "I gotta be quiet on that. You couldn't script that.
Right.
You couldn't script that." And then I hollered out the game. He got the 30,000 point. He let me love. He said, "Man, I got you." And then from then, like literally, that's when from 2012 to the end of his life. That's when it went from like being like a regular media person to being a friend / mentor.
Wow.
And then I remember about 2014, 15, I got his people number. Like I always have to go through somebody to get to him. And then I hit this lady up when the United States was retiring in Atlanta because they were coming through the Texas swing. Hey, I'm thinking they're gonna shoot it down.
Right.
It was the next day. Hey, can you follow him all the way through from San Antonio all the way through to Texas to Dallas? Say less. So I ended up going on the road. I was doing something for a startup company at the time. They were all about that. They paid for everything. So I'm chilling in San Antonio and Houston, and then come back up here to Dallas where I live at, all in the week time, maybe a couple $1,000s. And I would talk to him every stop, talk to him shoot around, talk to him after the game. I was compiling all these videos and stuff.
Right.
Then we wanted to go to LA. So I got to go to LA 10 days, get paid for it. When being a Laker fan, I got to do the practice at El Segundo and all that. And I found out, which I a lot behind the scenes stuff, Kobe did not practice a single day his last year because his body was so bad.
Oh, wow.
Remember that game that it went viral? It's a meme now, especially RIP since he died. Remember when Dirk hits that shot on them? He pats him on the butt?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
He's supposed to play that. He tried everything that day. He had every intention of playing. Evidently, it was like kind of like what LeBron's doing now. I bet you LeBron probably made you can count on one hand how many times he's practiced this yeyear. Because it takes a lot to get there at that stage. At that stage, get your body at the NBA level, it takes a lot. So Kobe's body locks up, of course, because it's Dirk. He still flies in to watch the game, and that's how that went viral. That's why he's on the suit and stuff. He really wanted to play that game because he knew that was going to be the last time he played Dirk.
Yeah.
So I was there for those 10 days, and one of the things is I got so cool with him. I wanted to go to the house. Well, those people with the upstart company and Kobe's people could not agree on me flying the Mama Copter. 2016. What people don't understand is that was Kobe's Uber. That was like no big deal for him. It wasn't like, oh, he was being extravagant and whatever. That's how he got around because he lived the equivalent of living. It's like if Dirk or Luka, that recent memory, lived in Fort Worth and they played
right? Yeah,
the game.
Right. Yeah, it'd be faster for you to have. You need to have a chopper or something to get you there to save your time. Yeah, I got you. Wow. So
and then so we transitioned to that and stuff. So I see his whole last year, or whatever, and then I don't see him for about 2 years. I text every now and then because I would text, he always would reply. I see him in New York. I did not know he was going to be there. I was there for a UFC fight. Conor McGregor. It was UFC's first time in New York, and Conor McGregor was him. Like he was like right getting towards fighting Mayweather. Like this was the last UFC fight he fought that made him get the Mayweather fight. That's how all electric New York City. He's there for an Under Armour thing because he invested in Under Armour before it blew up like 100 mil, and now it's worth like 2.5 bill.
Wow.
But he was an investor, and so they were making a big deal about them being the official drink of the UFC. So Kobe had flown from LA into New York and stuff. Didn't know. I could tell 5 minutes later, Kobe Bryant said that. I said, oh, that's my guy. I said that. And a couple of people I told over the years that was my guy.
Right.
They kind of like looking at
They're looking at you probably like, nah, oh man, stop lying.
We had to do the little press notes, whatever. I'm trying to lay low.
Right.
He said, "What's up, boy?" Come and ask me about my wife at the time, my kid, and my parents in front of Dana White, all the UFC brokers, and all the media people. And then there was a couple pictures I did not even see that people took of us that they showed me the day that he died. I had never seen them.
Wow.
And then, the day he died, I was supposed to see him 2 weeks later in Chicago for the All-Star weekend, because that's when people realized that's when he was officially in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So my thing was, I've never been at that, and to this day I still haven't been. I gotta go. But the thing was, I told him that like probably 2019, last time I like had a real conversation with him. I was in LA for something different for business, and I talked to him about 10 minutes. I was like, when you go to the Hall of Fame, I'm going. So that really hit my soul that he wasn't once in McCullough, that he wasn't gonna be there to go in. And the crazy thing is that same night, remember I told you all this stuff started in Houston?
Right.
The night that he actually got inducted, when Vanessa did the speech, I was back. I happened to be that same night in Toyota Center in Houston, covering the UFC fight. And one of Kobe's bodyguards had left the NBA and stuff, was the head security of the UFC, my man Kenny. And he told them, the people behind the scenes, without me knowing how close I was with Kobe. And so they gave us a private room for him to watch that by himself, because of course they knew how close he was.
Man, that's a heck of a story, man. I mean, that's a heck of a connection. You know what I'm saying? Your relationship your connection to him ended up being a relationship that a lot of people weren't going to ever get that close to Kobe Bean Bryant. So
also, Shaq. Shaq's my guy. Shaq was my voicemail in college.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Now, let's talk about, obviously, let me ask you this. Who was the most, I guess, of all the athletes you've met, who was the one that that kind of had you a little bit starstruck?
Besides Kobe?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Because Kobe and Shaq, I met them so early. I already, by the time I even blew.
And you a Laker fan too, so I get it. Yeah.
Huh?
I said you a Laker fan too, so
so I kind of had to have my system. One McCall was pretty cool too. He wasn't an athlete, but The Rock.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's good because I'm like, I'm playing like Mr. Johnson. Now, man, just call me DJ.
Yeah, he's an athlete. I mean, he played for the Miami Hurricanes. I always look at it. I mean, obviously, his acting is more obviously what more people think about. But hell, he was on that national title team with the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always look at him as an athlete. Okay.
David Thompson, shout out to him. My favorite. I'm being a Cowboy fan. That's my favorite non-Cowboy ever.
Who was this?
David Thompson.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay.
A quick baby story about that. I got his jersey, the one that he broke the record in, that dark San Diego jersey with the lightning bolts on the side. So the dark blue one, not the powder blue one, the dark.
Right.
I got him to sign it. I went to his camp that day. I got him to sign it. Got to do a little story with him that morning. I wore the same jersey. I go to Dirk was hosting a celebrity baseball game. Dirk Nowitzki took a picture with Dirk, so I got that. That's the only day I wore that jersey. And ran one of the best NFL running backs and one of the best NBA power forwards, all in the same day. With that one jersey, has not worn since.
Again, that's awesome, brother. You have been able to put yourself in a position to do something that you love, and then to meet people like, most of us grew up loving sports. So to meet these athletes and to be able to have these conversations and get paid to do it too, man, you living the dream, brother. And I'm proud of you, man, for sure. I'm proud of you, brother. You definitely put the hustle and the work in. Got to ask you about the picture you posted today about the late civil rights icon, Reverend Jesse Jackson, who passed away. If you didn't know, passed away early this morning at the age of 84. Talk about that picture and what it means to you.
It was funny. It's one of those things like when you reflect on it, it was more impactful than I even realized in the moment. Like I met him at the All-Star weekend and walked across to him, whatever. He said, "How you doing, my brother? What you doing here for?" And I told him I was in relation with Source Magazine at the time. So I was happy to be part of the festivities. I was like, guy, I'm just happy to be here.
Right.
And then he said, verbatim, keep grinding, my brother, and let them know you always got a voice.
And that stuck with you.
Yeah. He just said it so nonchalantly too.
Right. So, man, that's awesome, Kendrick. Man, we're gonna wind this thing down, brother. I want to thank you for giving me a little bit of your time. I just wanted to speak with someone that has the background in journalism like we do, because I think there's a lot of, and this ain't throwing shade at these sports content creators that's doing their thing. Hey, man, make get it. It's a lot easier for you, but I mean, it really is a technique and a science and a talent to this,
It
Kendrick,
makes
and
questions.
a lot of people don't know that.
It's like, what is a journalist?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because there is a way that you're supposed to tell and write a story and report a story, but that's neither here nor there. So I wanted to have you on because you're a guy that's a freelancer that I see that's really doing big things, and you made your own way. You made a path, but you worked hard to get where you are too as well.
Appreciate it.
So I just want to give you a shout out. And again, any advice to up and coming wannabe sports journalists? What's the best advice that you could give them?
Do your research, have a game plan, execute, and believe in yourself. Basically, bet on yourself.
Damn, I like them for them pointers. All right, Kendrick, where can we follow you at? Where can we follow you at?
On my Twitter, my Instagram is at Kendrick Johnso. It's JOHNSO. There's no N. That's my Twitter and my Instagram. And then I'm starting to get back on my YouTube grind. My YouTube page is Kendrick Media.
I gotta subscribe. I didn't even know you had a YouTube.
It's baby. We're trying to get it done. It's not done up like the Instagram and Twitter is done up.
Okay, and I gotta follow you on IG too, because I don't think I follow you on IG, but I gotta get you on IG and I gotta get you on your YouTube channel too now, since you gave me that. All right, man. Hey, man, much love to you, much success to you, man.
Thanks for calling me. Thank you.
Oh yeah, and don't get it twisted. We're gonna do something again, because if you cover something big that I know, hey, I'm gonna see if I can get my boy Kendrick Johnson to holler at me, talk about what it is. I'm gonna give you a call. All right.
Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Appreciate you being with me. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Again, that was my good brother Kendrick Johnson. Man, that young brother, again, I met him when he said 2002, 24 years ago. He and KLTV sports director Michael Coleman were in the Arlington Metroplex. We were going to interview Magic Johnson at a 24-hour fitness grand opening. And then I remember Kendrick Johnson coming in, and I think he wanted us to take a picture or something. I can't remember how it went down, but I do remember him. He ended up working at KTRE, the sister station of KLTV, the ABC affiliate in Tyler, Texas, where I worked. He ended up getting on down there, and now he's carved out his own niche, and he's a freelance sports journalist doing big things, writing for SI and covering big UFC and boxing events and all this good stuff, man. So I'm happy to see the brother doing his thing. Hopefully I can be as big as Kendrick Johnson one day. We both got the same name. So maybe I can get some of that luck, get some of that Kendrick as well. He'll pass it on over to me. So again, I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Again, there's been a special live stream on Tuesday, on today, again, talking about being a freelance sports journalist. If you watch this later, please make sure you like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel that is Kendrick Sports Hustle. That's SportzHustle on YouTube, as well as TFG Sports Media. Doesn't cost you a dime. You can also follow them both on Facebook, as you see right here. That's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Doesn't cost you a dime there. You can also follow me on Instagram at Kendrick1969 and on TikTok at Kendrick Henderson51. All right. So again, been a special edition of my sports segment. We're going to give you a little bit more of these in the next coming weeks to come. Matter of fact, I already got somebody in mind that I want to do next month in March that hopefully we can do something live. So to bring you a little bit of variety when we're talking about sports and giving you some of these personalities. All right. So again, you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We will see you on the flip side and on the next live stream. And happy 63rd trip around the sun to the GOAT, my GOAT, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I know he's got some little controversy today about that video. I actually have already produced a segment on it. I'm going to post it here in a little bit. And let's just say, I ain't trying to change nobody's mind. You're going to believe what you want to believe anyway. I'm just going to present the evidence. And I'll let you decide what it is or what it wasn't. That's all I'm saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on the other side and on the next report. I am out. Peace.